Anyway, but the digital category, though, that's where we got you. Digital category, the winner was Kaiju number 8. And coming in at second place is Dandadan. No surprise to see Kaiju number 8 coming in first for the digital category. Kaiju number 8 has been popping off over the past year, and it's going to continue to pop off. And that's how Dandadan has been recently, is Dandadan has completely just popped off and blown up all over the place, especially since it has now been added to Manga Plus for English readers like ourselves. So let's talk about it. Let's just jump over there. Let's talk about Dandadan. Josh, what's your thoughts on this series? The series is a giant meme, and I'm here for it, and I love it.
Same. First off, I want to say, though, Kaiju number 8 is one of the ones we got right.
That is correct. So. We've been on the Kaiju number 8 train since, like, day one.
Yeah. Moving on to Dandadan, it is... I personally really enjoy it, and I see why it's getting so much love, in Japan. It's one of those, it's like, it's wild, it's out there,
That's true.
It's kind of got like the humor style of like, a lot of 90s stuff, like Shin-Chan.
Right.
Or early 2000s. And the art's amazing. Like, it's not really that cartoony art you expect. It's more like, trying to be realistic. But it's definitely good. It's one of the few things, like, they released all 21 chapters Monday, and by the time I was home Monday, I had finished all 21 chapters. Like, I hated putting it down to go back to work. It was that good.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It is really wild, and it is really out there, but it is such a fun read, man. There were so many moments like where I was just busting my ass laughing to the same level of that I get with Mashal, because I laugh my ass off at Mashal a lot, and it's the same thing with this series, man. It is just completely wild and out there of our protag, being raised by her grandmother, who is like a spiritual medium, and she doesn't believe in ghosts and spirits, whatever. But meanwhile, she meets this kid who
she believes in ghosts and spirits. It's UFOs. She doesn't believe.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's that she believes in it, but the thought always crossed her mind that she thought her grandma was full of shit. Is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to, is that the thought always crossed her mind that she thought her grandma was full of shit, whatever. Then she meets this kid who's like fully believing in aliens and UFOs, and she's like, nah, that shit ain't real. And he's like, well, spirits is not real. So they go with a bet with each other, where he goes to like a haunted place, she goes to a place where aliens are commonly there. And then we get one of the best lines I've ever read in a manga, because of how much it just absolutely murdered me. It caught me off guard to levels that I cannot even begin to express. It just was complete left field, and by no means would I ever anticipated this to come. Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
I'll let you suckle my teats if you let me gobble your schlong.
I know.
Oh my God, when that happened, I lost it. Oh my God, that was incredible. So our male protag here, man, he goes into this, the haunted tunnel, whatever, and he encounters like this, this ghost of an old lady who's named Turbo Granny, which love that simple, stupid name, by the way. Love it.
It's so good.
Yeah, and she just turns around and looks at this dude dead on. She's like, I'll let you suckle my teats if you let me gobble your schlong. And he's just like, a ghost, and he's like tries running away. Oh my God, I was in tears. I was in literal tears.
Same here. Like, just reading through it, I was laughing my ass off. And then when she encounters the aliens, and they start talking about like how they're abducting her because she's a female, and
yeah.
They're all cloned and stuff, and they're only doing it because they need banana organs. I was like, that's the fucking funniest thing I've ever read. And then he just like whips out this like mechanical dick, and I was like, God damn, I love this.
Oh man, it's such it really is a fun read. Like it's very out there, as you can tell from us talking about it. Like Josh said, it is so far out there in what the series is trying to do, but it's like nonstop comedy, and like it's nonstop comedy, and like the characters, like like the dynamic between our two characters is honestly, like, for it being only 21 chapters in so far, dude, it's such a fun little read to watch these two get closer, you know, where it's like it's like there's like that possible romantic vibe there, right? Where they really want to talk to each other. They start to become really close. Like in such a quick, short time, watching the development between these two is super cool, you know, and it doesn't feel horribly rushed, in my opinion. Because that's one area that manga, it's tougher for manga than, let's say, like a romance webtoon. A romance webtoon can take 50,000 years for two characters to really get close and do their thing, right? For manga, it needs to be a little bit more sped up, and that's understandable because of the nature and the market that manga is. But for 21 chapters, for the kind of the bond that's being developed between these two, it doesn't feel rushed. It feels very natural, and it feels very smooth, and it's a really fun dynamic to read between these two.
And their chemistry is just like, it's great, because like that's half the comedy is like their banter with each other.
Yeah, true.
And it's so good, like, and it's, you know, a lot of manga try to do stuff like that, and it really doesn't work. And you know, to build a series around just the banter alone is just really great.
Also, shout out to the grandma.
Shout out to the grandma. I was just about to get to that. Like, you know, her introduction, I kind of want to talk about it because it was actually really funny reading it, because I didn't see the end coming, where she's just like telling this dude's fortune. She's like, "You're 25 or 27." He's like, "Nope, I'm 20." It's like, you have a child. He's like, "Nope, don't have any kids, never married." She's like, "You like ramen?" He's like, "Nope, I love curry." And then at the end, he's just like, it comes to light that this actor is actually 27 years old and has a secret love child. And she's like, "Now just admit that you like ramen over curry."
Yeah. I loved that introduction, man. That was absolutely incredible.
I didn't see it circling back because the entire chapter I thought she was just like a gigantic fraud. And then when that hit, I was just like, so good.
Yes. And dude, she is a savage, man. She's a savage. Like it's fantastic seeing her just kind of like go off on people and just be, you know, just really up front about stuff. Because so when it comes to this Turbo Granny plot, right? When our protag runs away, whatever, he does get his schlong stolen. So he currently does not have a penis for X amount of chapters, and they're trying to get his penis back. Well, they managed to get his penis back, and he thought all was fine, all was well. Whatever, went on with his life. Then he realizes he has no balls. So then when he comes back to him, he points it out to him, and the granny's is like, "This is why I wanted you to show me your dick, because I wanted to make sure if you got your balls back, but you didn't show me." And then he was just like, "Well, when my rod came back, I just didn't think anything of it." And she's like, "Rod my ass, more like a pencil, you little twerp." And I'm like, God damn, this woman's a savage.
I guess we should explain the story more too. So yes, when he runs away from Turbo Granny, she ends up stealing his schlong and putting a curse on him, and basically the curse turns him into Turbo Granny, and he's able to control it with I forgot her name. I know he's called the Cult Coon. Yeah, Momo. She realizes she actually has psychic powers, and she's able to control his curse just a little bit so he can take on, you know, this kind of cursed form. But God, it just made me think about when they're fighting the acrobatic Silky, and she's just like, go beat her up like you normally do. And he's like, "I haven't beat anyone up. I bit somebody and I ran. That's all I've done so far."
Right.
It's really funny to me because he's like making him out to like be this badass. But anyway, yeah, his curse lets him, you know, take the power from the Turbo Granny and, you know, become more or less this cursed superhuman. He's, you know, super fast, but he just gets really bummed out.
Yeah, he does. He just gets brutally depressed.
He's like, "I don't want to do this anymore. I'd rather just go die."
Oh man, this series is it's a treat. It really is. Like, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, I definitely recommend downloading the Manga Plus app and giving this series a read, because this is, I see why it's popping off, as Josh said. I get it because of how far out there it is, and the comedy is just pure gold. In 21 chapters, the amount of times that I've had to just like put my phone down and I'm just like covering my face, almost crying of laughter, is an obsessive amount for 21 chapters. Like, this is so stupid, dude, but I love it. Love it. This is one of my favorite reads right now, by far.
Yeah, it's like that mix of, like, you know, shonen action, like supernatural romance and comedy.
Yes.
It's basically got everything.
It has everything you could possibly want and more.
Yeah.
Talking about teats and schlongs.
Yeah, exactly. In that last chapter when they're like, why are you guys coming after me? He's like, because you have a very well endowed banana organ. Because that's where his power comes from. It killed me. Yeah, if you want to read it, I highly suggest Manga Plus because it's completely free. Every chapter is on there. If you read it on Viz or the Shonen Jump app, you actually have to log in online. It's web only.
Yep.
Because it is obviously a more mature manga.